Power to the truth. This is Margo. This is Saturday, May 18th, 2019, 7:42 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. So we're going to do a weather update concerning California and the Oroville Dam situation and the water levels and the forecast. And I have a video to share with everyone, and then we're gonna, so that's gonna take up most of the first part of the show, and then we're gonna do an earthquake report. So hope everyone is doing well and just watching everything and making decisions according to your own situation. Go with your gut feeling and your intuition as to what to do. But I've been reporting on this for a month now, and I'm about done in, but I'm going to keep reporting on it until the crisis is over, and it may be a while. So here we have NASA Worldview from today. Here's the United States. There's a massive system over in the center part of the United States coming up through Texas and the middle of the United States, and also going across the top. But the one we're concerned with is this one that's moving in off the west coast. This is round 2 of the 3 atmospheric rivers. Here's where it's at today. Here's Reno, here's Chico, and this area is Lake Oroville here. You can see that it's cloud covered. They were getting rain this afternoon. The rain, it was really starting to rain. They're getting snow in the mountains. They're expecting up to 2 feet of snow in some parts of the Sierras. And it just depends on how much rain and snow are accumulated in the watershed area for Oroville as to how much the lake level rises. Now, they have figured out how to release a little bit more water without using the main spillway, and apparently from reports I've been getting, they are not going to be using the main spillway. They're going to do a, quote, workaround, unquote. And this information comes from Dave Hodges from the Common Sense Show. And he posted this, it's a 14-minute video over on YouTube this morning. And it's everyone in the California Central Valley needs to hear this. And if you haven't heard this, I will leave the link below. But he's spoken with Preston. What's his name? I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, the guy he's been speaking to is hang on, let me find out the guy's name, or we'll just start playing the video. You'll hear it.
Had a long conversation today. Actually, I had many conversations today with Paul Preston.
There it is, Paul Preston. Having a brain fart. And so he had conversations with Paul Preston, who has some inside contacts at the Oroville Dam, and came back with information that they're using these different tubes or something, some pipes at the bottom of the dam, and releasing a little bit of extra water, but that they're not going to be using the main spillway. And so that's kind of disconcerting. And if we look at the releases from today, they've if we put this in an Excel document, it's a little easier to see. This is the hour by hour reading that they've been putting out. Right now, as of 7 o'clock Pacific time, the lake level is at 890.94 feet. And it's been holding. The highest it's been is 890.95, and that was at noon today, and then it went down 1/100 of a foot at 1 o'clock, and it's been holding at that level. We can see the inflow rates are just under about 12,000 CFS, that's cubic feet per second. They've increased the outflow rates to right around 12,000. So the inflow and outflow are almost equal. Okay, hang on, I've got to take the phone call. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So as long as the inflows and outflows kind of remain the same, then the lake level will stay right there. The problem is with the rains and the snow. We just don't know how much is going to be coming in and how much of the area is going to get rain and snow, and how fast it's going to be running off. So, they may be buying themselves a little bit of time, but I see eventually there will be a massive failure over here at the dam. And by the way, when people say, oh, it wasn't the dam that failed, it was just the spillway. No, the spillway is part of the dam. The dam is a system, and it consists of all the different parts, all the different elements, and if one fails, it's considered a dam failure. It doesn't have to be a complete dam collapse to be a dam failure. So I just wanted people to be aware of that. So we're about 10 feet from the top of the emergency spillway. So let's listen to some of this from Dave Hodges.
I took it back to some of my own independent experts for verification of interpretation of the facts, and a very bleak picture is occurring at the Oroville Dam, and this is something that I wished I didn't have to report. It concerns me that this could cross over into the venue of fear-mongering, but I'm going to give you sheer numbers, and then let's talk about the deceptiveness of the California Department of Water Resources, and then I'll tell you what I would do if I was there based on known facts. This is Dave Hodges. I'm the host of The Common Sense Show. We are the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time, and we are brought to you by Virtual Shield.
Alright, so I'm just going to stop it there because I don't want a YouTube strike. So I'll leave the link below so that you really need to hear this show. And it's just I'm kind of talked out on all of this. I mean, I've been talking for a month. I've been reporting for a month on this because I've been empathically picking up on what was going to happen and just had this dreadful feeling, and now it's every day, is just getting closer and closer to complete failure of the dam is what it looks like. So I want to look at climate reanalyzer so that we can understand a little bit better what's going on. So here are the temperatures. Now I've got this view up so that we can see the west coast of the United States and also what's coming in from the Pacific and from Alaska. So the temperatures are not high at all. In fact, if you look at the 2-meter temperature anomaly, the whole western side of the United States is in the blue range, which is below normal temperatures this time of year. So it's anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees cooler. Also, there's a large area up here in the northern part. It looks like Montana, and where it's coming down from Canada, where it's a lot cooler. And look at this blue wave splitting Canada in half, and it just kind of spreads out and then comes up this east coast of the United States too. So a lot of the country is cooler than it normally is this time of year. So here's the weather system. The green is rain, and here's where it's coming in. This is the one that's coming in now. Here's the one that's on its way. Here is, let's look at the jet stream. So it's coming straight in to the middle part of California there. So when that comes in the next few days, then that's when we'll be getting everything. There's snow cover, sea surface temperature anomaly. So the sea surface temperature is warm, and so when you get set up with warm water and this colder air moving in, it makes it for these systems that tend to last a long time, because the system pulls the warm water up and it holds more water in the atmospheric river. And look at how red the sea surface temperature is up here by Alaska. That's in the Bering Strait. That's in the red zone. So so there's that. We can also go to Outlook Forecast Maps. Let's go to US. Let's go to 10-day. And we can look at accumulated precipitation, or we can look at, where is it? Yeah, so this is one of them that I've been showing recently. So that's just the map. That's not the model. Hourly forecast maps is what we go to for that. I forgot. Precipitation, that's pressure. Cloud cover. So we can see a lot of cloud cover even without the precipitation. And so the point I'm getting to is that with it being so much colder, then with these systems, then if it goes into more snow than rain, then it won't be raising the lake level as much as we thought right now. It could be delaying the rising of the lake level when that stuff starts melting, because it will melt. And 2 more feet of snow in the Sierras, that's a lot of snow. So we can see that the systems just come in and go away and come back in and go away, and it changes on the hour here for 10 days. And then the system kind of like moves across the United States. So now it's starting over there. So there's that. We can also look at total accumulated precipitation. So here it is today. And then when we run the movie, it's the accumulated precipitation for this 10-day period. So it goes through, well, we'll see, the 28th, because today's the 18th. Okay, here it is at the end of the 10-day period, and so we can see part of the mountains have the purple. It's into at least 4 to 5 to 6 or 7 inches, and that's water. Precipitation, that's water, I'm thinking. And then blues, around 3 inches in the other areas, or a little bit less. So there's that. I also have the National Weather Service for the Sacramento area, their Twitter page pulled up here. And here's the storm system coming across, and it's just repeating. That's the one that we're looking at. And then here's a picture of the mountain passes. It says a late season storm will bring hazardous mountain travel this weekend, with up to 1 foot of snow possible at pass level. If headed to the mountains, bring chains and check road conditions before you go. And it says 6 to 12 inches at pass level, up to 2 feet of snow on higher peaks. Chain controls and travel delays likely. So it's already started snowing on the passes, and so if you're trying to get out, now's not a good time. I mean, today would have been the day, or before today, yesterday would have been the day, and that's what I was telling everyone. But you'll have breaks in the weather, and if you are wanting to evacuate, you will have breaks in the weather, and I recommend that you go north, away from the downhill flow of Oroville, or east. So there's the rain all the way through California, and here's the Saturday radar, and we can see it moving across. That was from this morning. So here's the storm pattern into next week. Wind gusts, and so on and so forth. Now, I will refresh this. This is Weather Underground, the 10-day forecast for Oroville. So we can see that they had rain for Saturday, which it did rain. It's going to continue raining into Sunday through Sunday. We have parts of the time that it's 100%, close to 100% chance of rain. It's not going to rain continuously, it's going to rain off and on. Monday, partly cloudy. Tuesday, more rain. Wednesday and Thursday, partly cloudy. Then next Friday, they're expecting more rain now. And then Saturday and Sunday and Monday are partly cloudy, still with some chance of showers. A little bit of chance of showers. So, you just got to figure out what your window is if you are wanting to evacuate. So it looks like at this point Monday would be the next optimal day to exit before the next storm system, but you have to use your own judgment on that. So there's that. Robin Westenra has been doing some excellent blog posts about Oroville, and so I'll put the links to his blog posts in the video description box too. So now let's move on over to earthquakes. Hold on a second. Okay, so I have USGS pulled up here for all magnitudes for the last 24 hours. We're showing 219 earthquakes worldwide. Of those, 24 are 2.5 magnitude or higher. And we've had some sizable ones coming in. We're going to start with this one down in Peru. 4.5 near Lagunas, Peru. This came in last night at 8:55 p.m. 35 kilometers deep. Right there on land. Then down here is a 4.0 near Iquique, Chile at 4:32 this afternoon, 106 kilometers deep. And all these times I'm telling you are Pacific time, because that's my time zone. Next, coming down here off the coast of New Zealand, they had a 4.2 near Castle Point. This came in last night at 9:07 p.m., 48 kilometers deep. Next, 6.2 near Tadine, New Caledonia. This came in tonight at 6:23 p.m. And if you look at the little tsunami wave, I've already checked all of these. There are no tsunami warnings. No tsunami threat. So that one is in the ocean, so it probably didn't cause any damage. But if that had been on land, that definitely would have caused damage. Next we have a 5.1 near Taran, Papua New Guinea. That happened at 7:58 this morning. It's in the ocean again. Next, here's one right off the coast. It's amazing how many of these are just off the coast of these places. 4.9 near Amahai, Indonesia at 1:35 this afternoon. Then moving on up to Taiwan is a 4.4 near Hualien Taiwan at 9:38 this morning, again in the ocean. Now we've got a line of 3 here going up from Japan, part of these Kurils Islands here. 4.5 near Shikotan, Russia at 10:56 this morning, and 4.4 near Kurilsk, Russia at 1:25 this afternoon. This one was 116 kilometers deep. These are the Kuril Islands. And a 4.5 near Severo, Kurilsk, Russia at 1:16 this afternoon. 57 kilometers deep. Next on land over here, we have a 4.4 near Kashi, China at 12:53 this morning. And a 4.6 near Kazurun, Iran at 12:48 this morning on land. It looks like that's all of the international ones. So now we're going to switch to all magnitudes and look at Hawaii. We've got 13 here today. Here's one off the east coast of 1.9 near Pepikio. Here's a 1.9 to the northwest of Mauna Loa. Here's 4 at Mauna Loa. Here's a 2.5, a 2.1, 1.8, and a 2.6. Those are getting up there. Here's one, 2.3 near Kilauea. This is Kilauea here. 1.9, 2.2, 1.9, and 1.8, all at Kilauea. And this 2.3 is on the flank of Kilauea. And then one more, 1.8 near Pahala. So that's all of them in Hawaii. So those are getting on up there, and they're also showing movement, definitely. Next, in the Caribbean, we've got 5 here today. A 2.5, 3.0, 3.1, 1.9, and a 2.3. So that's showing movement still. Now let's come on up to Alaska. We've got 78 here today, so that's gone down a little bit in the numbers. Of those, we've got 2 that are 2.5 magnitude or higher, a 2.5 near Middleton Island and a 2.5 near Kobuk. So if we look at all magnitudes, they're moving up. See the wave just moving up through the center of the state is what you're seeing. And we see these little diamonds. We've got ice quakes here causing earthquakes. That's where the ice is down in the, where it's so cold there, the ice gets frozen down deep, and so when it starts melting, it causes the plate, it causes like an earthquake, but it's an ice quake. So here's a 1.7 ice quake, magnitude ice quake, and a 1.5 and a 1.4, all at Cape Yakataga. Here's some more 1.3 and 1.7 magnitude ice quake at Evacuation. Here we've got a cluster of 3 at Middleton Island. Here's Cook Inlet. Here's the Anchorage area. We've got 22 here today. Kobuk, 15 here today. And so on. So now I'm going to come on down to the lower 48. We're going to start with this one in Arkansas in the New Madrid hazardous zone. Here's a 2.1 near McCrory, Arkansas at 12:57 this afternoon. Next was a 2.5 near Quinton, Oklahoma. Here's a 3.6 near Medford, Oklahoma. That's getting up there. Here's a 2.6 near Mentone, Texas. Utah's clear. It is the weekend, so a lot of the earthquake makers will be at home, so you won't see a bunch of quarry blasts and explosions, hopefully. Now coming on up into the Yellowstone area, we have 4 here today. 0.9 and a 0.7 near Manhattan, 0.3 near Helena Valley, and a 1.9 near Lincoln. So those numbers have gone down. Now in the Pacific Northwest, I need to pull up the real-time tremor map. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So what we have here is some earthquakes up here in Washington. We've got a 2.4 near Basin City, 1.0 near Morton, and a 1.0 near Amboy. Those are both at Mount St. Helens. And a 4.2 on this Juan de Fuca plate out in the Pacific. So if we look at the real-time tremors map, in the last 3 hours it's showing 2.1 hours of tremors, so more than 2/3 of the time the ground is shaking, and this is the shaking of the earth before it makes an earthquake. So most of these are between Salem and Eugene, Oregon. In the last 12 hours, we've got 6.3 hours of tremors. And in the last 24 hours, it's 14.4 hours of tremors. So we can see quite a few there. And it's in this area down here. So we're going to come on down. We've got 0.9 near Portola, California. We've got 5 here in Lake Tahoe, northwest Lake Tahoe. These are small. 1.2 is the largest one. And then just coming across Nevada, we've just got a few here and there, little small ones. 0.5, 0.3, 0.5, and so on. So these are not huge. We are still seeing some here at Alamo today. We've got 10 here at Alamo. We're not seeing a bunch of explosions. Here's a 1.3 at Courant. Now on this east side of California, we've got 5 in the Mammoth Lake area, and the largest one was this 3.1 near Round Valley. And then we've got some coming down through the middle part, a 0.4 and a 1.0 near Inyokern. Here's a 1.2 Tehachapi. And then in Southern California today, we're only seeing 28 on the map, so the number has gone down, and all of them are under 2.5 magnitude. We're seeing this little cluster back here at Kauai. Here's a 2.3. That's one of the larger ones. Here's a 1.3 at Ludlow. And then coming up the San Andreas fault line, we've got a 2.2 New Adria, 2.1 Pinnacles, 1.6 Tres Pinos, 2.0 Crockett, and then we've got 25 at the geysers. That's kind of standard number. These are all in the ones range, mainly. Ones and under. 2.2 it looks like is the highest one there. And then we have this one down that happened down here in Texas. A 2.5 near Nixon, Texas came in at 7:58 this evening. Let's see if there's anything else we need to look at. So I think that's a wrap. So I'd like to end with another reading from the Bible. I'm going to be reading from Psalms chapter 2 today. I feel like we need to bring things back to a spiritual focus at the end of each of our shows, because we're seeing so much, and we are talking about it being the end times. So this is how I'd like to end. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with the rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. So I think this is an appropriate verse for what we're talking about in the world, and seeing the deceit and the lies, and the rulers thinking they can get by with things and do things in secret, but know that everything is being noted in the heavenlies, and there will be judgment So, are you ready for your judgment? Are you ready for your meeting? If not, I advise you get your spiritual house in order ASAP. So I love you guys, and until next time, God bless you, go in peace, and good night.